Have you ever done any watercolor painting? Well, perhaps the last time you've done one was when you were a child, at home or in school. Well, what is it about watercolor painting that intrigues many to follow the art form? In a way, it's an art form. It has its own style of painting and technique to it. Well, let's explore that and see what we get out of that metaphysically. Well, as you all know, we're here to explore many different avenues when it comes to the metaphysical aspects of our life. We've come to believe that there are many benefits to it, and it helps us see beyond our physical nature, what we believe and feel internally, which are not easily expressed to others by words or actions, and what we ourselves don't know about our own true nature. So come with me as we go into exploring different avenues of our life that we haven't yet explored. So in regards to watercolor painting, you need to do some kind of preparation for it. You'll need to have a watercolor palette along with your brushes and so on. You'll need a canvas or whatever it is that you want to paint on. And you'll need to set up your space just right to paint comfortably and methodically. You don't want to make too much of a mess where you're painting. So what are you going to paint? Your home, your garden, your children, maybe your pet dog? What is it going to be? Perhaps a portrait of your grandfather? Whoever or whatever you're going to paint, you'll need to plan out how you'll design that on your canvas. Perhaps you'll need to measure the space within your canvas so that everything will geometrically work out just right, because you don't want one part of someone's face to be much bigger than it should be. Or perhaps you want to make sure their eyes are equal distant apart, or perhaps you want to make sure that the garden is within the right frame of reference from the house or cottage nearby. Whatever it is, you just want to make sure the painting will turn out right in the end. So after you painstakingly measure and plan how you will design it, you realize you have to figure out how you're going to paint it. Are you going to paint it like, the Mona Lisa, where the lines are drawn, detailing the shape and figure of your character? Are you going to blend it like how it's done in Monet's painting? So it's hard to decide which, because you like both styles and you like to experiment with both. So you pick up a pencil and you start sketching out your design. Now, what you like about this is that you appear to be focused on what you're doing. What does that mean to you metaphysically? Well, I find that it helps you calm the mind and your thoughts appear sharper, and the way that it seems to draw the images beforehand as you sketch it on the clean canvas. Your energy spills out in shades of blue along with orange, which carries a splash of red, and you continue sketching, and I notice another frequency coming out, which happens to be green, but a lighter shade of green, not quite lime green, but almost there. It's a shade of green that you'll see perhaps from the Caribbean Sea. It flows like water in a way and moves in and out of you. And as you continue painting some more, I see another frequency protruding out of you, which appears to be some form of yellow. And I say this because it mixes itself with green and blue to give it a turquoise kind of color. And what this color demonstrates to me is that your life is filled with excitement at times. When you do something that requires mental work, along with the freedom of expression, there's some kind of exhilaration to it and a feeling of excitement. It's a cool energy to encounter when you encounter someone in that state. So, as you're feeling all these types of emotions, the feeling behind it is that you're experiencing what a roller coaster ride feels like at times. There's the beginning when you're mentally trying to figure out what this ride is going to be like. Will it be terrifying? Will it be fun? Will I throw up? And so on. And then the feeling of like, will I like it? Will I hate it? Will I be disappointed? And then the feeling of, wow, this is looking great. This is looking cool. This is looking nice. And the feeling of, uh-oh, perhaps I shouldn't have used this much paint. It's looking pretty thick there. Or maybe I should adjust the lighting on that side of the painting, or perhaps the nose is too big, or perhaps I should use a little less red there. Then there's the feeling of like, crap, what did I do there? This is not my intention. I gotta work on that. Then voila, you're done. You look at the painting and you realize there are some things you could have done better, but all in all looks pretty good for someone who's not a professional artist. So, you pat yourself on the back and feel proud about your painting. So what is so metaphysical about that? Well, a lot actually. It might surprise you to believe that our actions incur metaphysical aspects within us to flow a certain way. And apparently watercolor painting does that for us, as well as other forms of painting. And the reason I chose watercolor painting is that our guides would bring that up as a suggestion, as an activity for a few individuals during our consultations. Why? Well, let's get into that. Now, many of us are not artists in the sense that we're not out there making money from our paintings, but we can pick up a hobby that brings out our artistic nature, whether you had known about it or not. How many of you remember working on an art project in school? Did you enjoy it? Was it one of your favorite classes? Did you explore the different forms of art they provided? Did any stick out to you? Did you enjoy working with your hands, or did you enjoy working on things that required your attention, such as creating a bowl out of ceramic clay or hammering pieces of wood together to make a clock? You see, art doesn't just come in the form of painting or sketching. There are many forms of it. One form of art I very much enjoy is dancing. Ever since I was a child, I've always loved dancing. It's an enriching art form in the sense that it enriches one's life. It gives me a sense of release along with the sense of excitement. The beats move me and I sense its rhythm. What I find with dancing is that its artistic movement in any form will do that to you. It allows your energy to flow through you in such a way that you feel less weighed down by the end of it. You come out feeling lighter, as if you're walking on air. Its rhythmic movement has a way of doing that to your soul. So come out on the dance floor and see for yourself how your energy feels afterwards, or, dance at home privately. Now, in regards to watercolor painting, we're often encouraged by our guides to recommend it to a few of the individuals that, like I said, that we've had a consult with. And in this video, I wanted to go in depth as to why they have. So what's going on with one's energy as they're painting is that their energy is in a swaying like motion. Well, why is that? Well, what I find is that their energy is moving to the rhythm of the paintbrush. As they are painting, their energy appears to move along with the sweeps they make with their paintbrush. Well, our energy gets affected by movement. When we move a certain way, our energy follows. So once your energy is activated to move, this way and that, well, it seems to be good for your energy. It seems to calm your state of mind and heart in some sense. See, your heart calms down but stays activated due to the passion that's running through you, your inspiration. But the other parts of you in regards to your emotions seem to die down to where they no longer bombard your thoughts. Now, in regards to your energy moving, this way and that, I refer to your core energy, the part of you that is central to who you are. You may see yourself as a carpenter, but really your core tells me you like to make things. It doesn't frame your whole being into one specific career. So just know when we give consultation, that's what we're looking at to get an idea of what makes up who you are. Now, moving further on, what I find in regards to your core energy moving, this way and that, is that you seem calm going about your business painting. Even though there may be some things that may happen as you paint, you're zoned in, which is interesting to watch. This just shows how powerful it can be on the mind. Something has taken over within you to be completely driven to go on painting. Now, as far as your energy frequencies displaying this and that color, well, blue for in-depth planning, thinking, strategizing, and so on. Perhaps light blue for being optimistic about the painting. It shows some excitement behind it. Red for deep passion, which mixes with yellow to create an orange effect, shows not only passion in the sense of inspiration, but also a drive to keep going till you finish it. And green, light green, for the spiritual aspect of it. What does it mean? Well, Green, as you know, displays the healing-like effect, and depending on the shade of green will tell you if it's more of a physical healing type of situation or an energetic or spiritual level. Well, in this case, it's the lighter shade, so it leans more toward a spiritual or energetic healing state. So what does that mean in this situation? Well, it seems to me that the body is going through a spiritual or energetic healing type of situation by activating its own energy frequencies to start healing. What does that do for you? Well, let's start off with calming the nerves, calming the mind, calming the waves of energy that may have taken over once you started painting, therefore creating a sense of balance. Calming you down essentially is what it's doing, which is great because for anyone who has received this type of treatment from anyone, energy-wise, knows that it's an awesome feeling. Even their voice can do such a thing for someone. Some people are full of this particular energy frequency. Anyway, moving on, the movement is important too. Remember, as I said earlier, that what we do physically can have an impact on our energetic state, meaning that if we move a certain way, our energy tends to move in a similar manner. Each movement outside of you can have an effect on your way of being, such as standing near the shore of an ocean can bring a wave-like effect on your energy, therefore causing you to be seasick for some and relaxed for another, depending on the person's mental state. Some can't take that rocking motion. Well, watercolor painting can have an effect on the person's energy and such that they calmly rock the person's energy from side to side. Their energy tend to calm down due to this motion and allows the painter to get self-involved in what they are doing. So this may be surprising for some who practice such a hobby, since they feel that it gives them a freedom of expression. In some ways it does. It allows them to express their inspiration or ideas. It's like an experimentation of some sort, which allows them to test their abilities. But what I find is that it's a technique that allows them to not only express their creativity, but in a very calm-like manner. When we imagine painters such as expressionists, we see them flailing about, with their paintbrush, with such flair and with such freedom. But when we watch those who do watercolor paintings, they tend to be quiet, they tend to be calm. They tend to be carefully mixing colors with just the right amount of water to get the right definition of that color. It's a calm and careful practice with the right precision and movement of the paintbrush. So does that remind you of anything? Well, it sort of reminds me of Tai Chi, yoga, and such practices where you make very specific movements with a purpose to achieve the right outcome. In a way, it has the same effect on your energy, which is surprising to me, but very cool also. I like how the outcome of one's energy after working on their piece of art has such an effect on that person's mind, body, and energy frequencies. It's quite amazing. So regular practice of it could do one's energy along with their state of mind good in many ways. Ways in which I believe will be noticed by that person in 1 month's time, perhaps, or less. There are many lessons online, including materials that you can buy economically. There's no need to become a professional painter, of course, but it can be a fun hobby to do in your free time, along with your children who may quite enjoy it. The practice of watercoloring opens doors to many avenues of painting and drawing. One may like to add drawings to their paintings, such as these that I've just purchased maybe a few months ago. They're cards made by local artists. The wonderful designs and vivid colors are what drew me to them, and its authenticity. They are one of a kind, and I also like that they were sold here in a shop made for local artists who can sell their work there. It's an amazing shop with all kinds of crafts and artwork. There are many creative minds out there who need our support to keep up with their love of art. Now, as for myself, I attempted it once, but I found that it's not for me. What I actually like doing is more of a manual, hands-on type of activity that requires me to build and put things together. It's what I enjoy doing, and it's what challenges me to think a certain way that I like to express within myself. We all have different frequencies to express in different ways. Some are more manual than others. Some are more artistic, thinking about designs, patterns, lines, and more. While others are thinking about how to build this, this way or that, or thinking about, pieces and parts to design or put together. Each activity allows us to express certain kinds of frequencies or traits, within us that need to be expressed in some way or form. And when they are, we find some form of delight or enjoyment in doing so. So what do you like to express? What do you want to do with that? What do you think is the best activity to do that will allow you to do so? Well, find out by experimenting with different activities and see which suits you. You may have some stories to tell along the way. Well, we hope you find something worth doing and find some sense of peace in doing that. So enjoy your day, your week, your month, and set aside time for yourself to do something you enjoy doing. Take care, everyone, and be kind to yourself. Have a good time and have a beautiful day. Bye.